Nobody expected the sound to travel through reinforced glass, yet it did, a thin crystalline crack that silenced the entire apex hall. I stood behind the observation rail, watching the elite bully Varkan loom over the lone human cadet. Gravity was set beyond standard tolerance, the floor humming under pressure, lights burning white against polished chrome. Varkan smiled with predatory confidence, certain mass meant authority. The human simply adjusted her gloves and breathed steadily. In that moment, tension tightened like a drawn cable, and every witness felt something irreversible was about to unfold. Silence spread wider than fear itself everywhere. 10 minutes earlier, the hall had been routine, drills cycling endlessly beneath crushing gravity. Varkan dominated the central platform, lifting a grav slab designed for siege machines. Each drop rattled the structure, a performance of power for watching heirs of empires. The human, Mara, occupied a distant station, practicing compact elbow strikes with modest weights. Her breathing remained even, precise, mechanical in rhythm. Observers mistook restraint for weakness, a common error within hierarchical cultures. I remember thinking she moved like a metronome, measuring time rather than effort. That quiet difference unsettled me immediately. Control radiated from her unassuming presence alone. Varkan noticed her indifference and interpreted it as insult. He strode forward, armor plates whispering against the charged air. Witnesses parted, forming a corridor of anticipation. He blocked Mara's path, shadow engulfing her frame. "Move," he ordered, voice vibrating through bone. Mara finished racking her weight, eyes fixed on his center mass. "I am finished," she replied, calm and level. He sealed the arena, force fields igniting with a rising hum. Protocols activated, observers trapped within a luminous perimeter. The bully wanted spectacle, domination, submission witnessed by all present. Pressure thickened like storm air. No one imagined the outcome awaiting them. He attacked first, momentum unleashed in overwhelming arcs. Forearms blurred, strikes patterned for crushing impact. Mara stepped forward, not back, dissolving distance with minimal motion. She redirected force, guiding limbs past empty space. Observers gasped, confusion replacing certainty. Varkan escalated, rage distorting technique. Mara answered with economy, fingertips finding neural junctions, structure yielding under precision. A limb failed, hanging uselessly beside stunned mass. The hall heard bone report like splitting ice. Yet she did not pursue advantage, she waited, balanced, inevitable. Something fundamental about power shifted before our eyes. Silence followed, heavy and absolute everywhere around us, all watching. Varkan roared and seized a weighted training blade, safety alarms shrieking across the sealed arena. The weapon traced a lethal arc, engineered for battlefield decapitation. Mara entered the swing, collapsing distance where power could not form. One hand captured his wrist, the other braced the joint. She rotated smoothly, physics converting aggression into fracture. The blade clattered away, sparks skittering over chrome. Air fled Varkan's lungs as her knee compressed his solar nexus. The giant folded, breathless, stunned, disbelieving. Medical drones descended uncertainly, awaiting command override from above, observers and systems alike frozen in shock, still watching helplessly there together. He tried to recover, swinging instinctively, abandoning measured form. Mara pivoted, forearm descending with calibrated force behind his auditory ridge. The strike interrupted equilibrium, a precise message delivered through bone. Varkan collapsed, mass meeting floor with seismic finality. The force fields flickered, then disengaged, protocols overridden by command authority. Commander Vale entered the circle, expression unreadable, presence compressing attention like gravity. He surveyed the fallen champion and the composed human. "Explanation," he demanded, voice controlled yet edged with consequence. Mara produced a silver Iden chip, placing it silently upon his data pad. Recognition dawned, altering posture and priority instantly spoken required. The crowd exhaled collectively, tension unraveling into whispers. Status inverted, hierarchy rewritten without proclamation. Mara retrieved her towel, movements unhurried, pulse unchanged. She offered neither triumph nor challenge, only completion. Vale stepped aside, granting passage through parted ranks. Varkan was lifted onto a hovering stretcher, disbelief etched across features once certain of dominance. I realized then the lesson unfolding before us. Power is applied, not announced. Precision ends conflicts that force prolongs. The Academy would remember this silence longer than any roar. Something irreversible had entered collective memory, reshaping expectations of humans forever after that day for everyone present there. Later reports framed the event as contained disciplinary action, terminology chosen to preserve order. Yet witnesses understood the deeper calculus. The human had not sought victory, she enforced an outcome. Violence functioned as language, concise and final. Varkan represented mass, tradition, intimidation. Mara embodied adaptation, endurance, informed restraint. Their collision revealed an equation the galaxy resisted. Intelligence directs power. I left the hall altered, perception recalibrated toward uncomfortable respect. Somewhere beyond those walls, humanity continued quietly, refining methods no empire anticipated. The commander intervened too late, but perhaps exactly when truth required witness and record for history to remember always. Stories spread quickly through cadet networks, embellished yet anchored by undeniable facts. The elite bully had fallen to a single human. Instructors resumed routines, but glances lingered on empty space where certainty once stood. Mara returned to training, unnoticed by most, unchanged in bearing. I watched, understanding emerging slowly. Her movements conserved energy, optimized leverage, minimized exposure. She trained for endings, not contests. That philosophy unsettled doctrines built upon spectacle. Quiet competence eroded intimidation more effectively than defiance. A new respect circulated without announcement, cautious yet persistent, altering interactions throughout the academy with subtle permanence thereafter among many observers present. Command released a statement, praising discipline while omitting specifics. Vale summoned senior cadets, outlining revised engagement protocols. None mentioned Mara directly, yet her demonstration informed every guideline. Avoid unnecessary escalation. Study structure before force. Finish decisively when conflict becomes inevitable. Varkan recovered, pride fractured more deeply than bone. He trained in silence, movement stripped of excess. Some lessons require collapse before comprehension begins. The academy shifted incrementally, gravity settings unchanged but awareness heavier. I documented everything, compelled by witnessing transformation in real time. History often begins as an overlooked correction, then expands beyond containment across systems and generations, eventually everywhere. I met Mara once, briefly, near the equipment racks. I asked why she remained so composed. She considered the question, gaze steady, breath measured. Conflict is physics, she said. Understand vectors and outcomes follow. No boast, no mystery, only principle. She resumed practice, attention already elsewhere. I recognized then that humanity's reputation would grow not through conquest, but through inevitability. Pressure applied correctly reshapes everything. Empires resist until structure fails. Witnesses become carriers of truth, transmitting lessons beyond origin. I left her there, certainty settling quietly within my thoughts and future expectations about power and restraint forever after that meeting. Years later, analysts would debate the incident's significance, searching for strategic implications. They would measure forces, calculate thresholds, model responses. Yet those present remembered something simpler. A human refusing domination, applying precision, concluding violence efficiently. The elite bully targeted a human. The commander intervened too late. But lateness revealed reality without mediation. Power belongs to those who understand limits and act within them. The galaxy would adjust, slowly, reluctantly, inevitably. And whenever arrogance swelled again, witnesses would recall that crack of bone, that quiet finish, that enduring lesson humanity carried everywhere it walked forward into history with measured purpose always.